Dear students, today I want to discuss the NEET 2017 physics question paper through three videos. We can go to the first question. See, a simple but a good question. A potentiometer is an accurate and versatile device to make electrical measurements of EMF because the method involves cells, the potential gradients, a condition of no current flow through the galvanometer, the combination of cells, galvanometer, and resistances. Students, keep in mind what is the speciality of the potentiometer compared to normal voltmeter. So keep in mind the potentiometer is based on the very important point. It is based on a null method and is a very important concept. It never take energy from the parent circuit. That is a speciality compared to other voltage measuring devices. So we can say the condition of no current flowing through the galvanometer, and that is a speciality of the potentiometer, and hence it is said to be an ideal voltmeter. So that is a good concept for the question number one. Number two, a gas mixture consists of 2 moles of oxygen and 4 moles of argon at a temperature T. Neglecting all vibrational modes, the total internal energy of the system is. So here the two types of gases here. So we can say the total energy is because of the sum of the two contributions by using the law of equipartition of energy. For the first one we can write as En1, Ef1, RT by 2 plus N2, F2, RT by 2. Here it is given the number of moles as 2 in for a diatomic concept, the degrees of freedom becomes 5 RT by 2 plus the second one with the number of moles as 5. It's a monoatomic gas, and hence we can say the number of degrees of freedom becomes 3 RT by 2. That is equal to 2 to cancel as a 5 RT plus as a 6 RT. You get the value is equal to 11 RT. So that is a very important concept. The total internal energy is the sum of the individual contributions. We can move to the third question. A radioactive material A has a decay constant A lambda. The material B has a decay constant lambda. Initially, they have the same number of nuclei. After what time, the ratio of number of nuclei of material B to A will be 1 by E. So, we can easily relate the numbers of the two cases with the decay constant as simply as Na by Nb, it should be equal to E raised to minus the decay constant for A as 8 lambda T, that division by E raised to minus lambda D. But we have to prove it at a time T, that value should be equal to as 1 by E. So if we just take this one to the numerator, we can write as E raised to minus 7 lambda T. Take the value equal to E raised to minus 1. So 7 lambda T is equal to 1. That means the time that is equal to 1 by 7 lambda. So you know the concept as n dash equal to n0 into e raised to minus lambda d. By using that concept, we get the answer. A good but a simple question. Number 4, a U-tube with both ends open to the atmosphere is partially filled with water. Oil, which is immiscible with water, is poured into one side of until it stands at a distance of 10 millimeter above the water level on the other side. Meanwhile, the water rises by 65 millimeter from its original level. The density of the oil is, look here, that is the initial level of water. Because of the pouring of oil, it rises to this concept. We know on a horizontal level, we can say they are with the same pressure. So that is a very important concept. So, and this much pressure, so we can write as P0 plus the pressure due to the oil, that should equal to, and we can say P0 plus that this much type of water pressure. So P0 cancel. For the oil, how much the total length? So this much is 10 plus 65 plus 65. So in total, that is 140 millimeter. So 140 millimeter of oil. So HO, the density of the oil into G is equal to the height of water into density of water into G. So G cancel. And our aim is to find what is the density for oil. That is equal to HW by HO into density of water. So substituting equal to the height of the water, that is nothing but this one. So 130 millimeter into the density of water, you know, as 10 raised to 3 by the height of the oil. So that is in total. So that is 140 into 10 raised to minus 3. Then you get the value equal to 13 by 40 into 10 raised to 3. So that is equal to 928 kilogram per meter cube. So you get the answer as 4. A good aspect, and keep in mind on a horizontal line, the pressures become equal, and hence we take the concept like that. Number 5. A 250 turn rectangular coil. So you got a 250 number. Has a length of 2.1 centimeter and a width of 1.25. Carries of current of 85 into 10 raised to minus 6 ampere. Is subject to a magnetic field of 0.85 Tesla. Then work done for rotating through 180 degree. You know, from theta 1 to theta 2 tilting, the work needed is given as is equal to mb into cos theta 1 to cos theta 2. There we can say the initial angle is 0. Then cos 0 minus cos 180. So that is equal to mb into 1 minus minus 1. So it becomes 2 times of m into b. So that is equal to 2 into, you know what is the magnetic moment? The magnetic moment for I carrying conductor, we can write as NIA into the magnetic field B. So you can substitute as equal to 2 into the number of turns as 250 into the current I as 85 into 10 raised to minus 6. The area cross section become 125 into 2.1 into 10 raised to minus 4. Conversion into meter into the magnetic field 0.85. So on solving, you get the answer roughly 9.48 microjoule. So approximately you can take the answer as 1. So you have to use two important concepts here. In order to tilt from an angle theta 1 to theta 2, the work done is mb into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. And the second one, the very important concept, the magnetic moment for n number of turns become NIA. A good question. Number 6. The de Broglie wavelength of a neutron in thermal equilibrium with heavy water at a temperature T and mass m is. We know the lambda is nothing but h by p, but we can express that momentum in terms of energy as 2m into E. But we know the energy is nothing but equal to 3 by 2 kT. Then you can substitute for that energy as equal to 2m into 3 by 2 kT. So 2 cancel. So you get the value as h by root 3m kT. So we get the answer as 2. A simple concept. We can move to the next question, number 7. One end of a string of length L is connected to a particle of mass m, and the other end is connected to a small peg on a smooth horizontal table. If the particle moves in a circle with a speed v, the net force on the particle directed towards the center will be the directed towards the center. So that will provide the necessary centripetal force. So that is nothing but the tension of the string. So hence we can say as 1 as the answer. And keep in mind, the question is which one that is directed towards the center, and that is the responsible one. And keep in mind, if you just considering the coordinate under consideration is an outside of the system, and then the force acting on it is along the radius towards the center. So that is a concept. So we can say as 1 as the answer. The next one as question number 8. Figure shows a circuit contains the 3 identical resistors with R equal to 9 ohm each, 2 identical inductors with inductance L is equal to 2 millihenry, an ideal battery with EMF E is equal to 18 volt. Then the current I through the battery just after the switch closed is. And keep in mind, an inductor that will favors for DC, and it will block that varying current. So when the switch is closed on the very instant, its current is goes on increasing, and hence we can say the inductor amps that will provide infinite resistance to the current, and hence we can avoid them. So in effect, that circuit can be redrawn like this one. There is only one resistance in the circuit. So that is a speciality. We have to consider, then only we get the answer, depending upon the choices. So it is given as R equal to 9 and the EMF as 18 volt. We need to find what is the current flowing through it. The current is nothing but equal to the EMF division by the resistance. So that is equal to 18 by 9 ohm. So that is nothing but equal to 2 ampere. And hence we can say, but this assumption is not accurate. That is at the initial stage that inductors will block the current and it will behave as infinite resistance. So that concept is not good at the initial stage. But the more appropriate answer we can say as I equal to 2 ampere. As number 9, a good concept. The x and y coordinates of the particle at any time are x is equal to, it is given that x is equal to 5t minus 2t square and y equal to 10 into t. The acceleration of the particle at t is equal to 2 seconds is. So at first we can easily find what is the velocity along the x-axis. So that is nothing but equal to dx by dt. So that is equal to 5 minus 4t, and the acceleration along the x-axis. So that is nothing but the dvx by dt. So that is equal to, it's a constant one, you get the value as minus 4 meter per second square. And similarly, you can find the velocity along the y-axis as t, and the acceleration by differentiating that y component once again, you get the value as 0. So, and hence, the net acceleration can be vectorically represented as minus 4i plus 0g. And hence, we can say the acceleration got the value of minus 4 meter per second square. So we can say as 3 as the answer. Number 10, suppose the charge of proton and electron differs slightly. One of them is minus E and another one is E plus delta E. If the net electrostatic force and the gravitational force between two hydrogen atoms placed at a distance apart is 0, then delta E is of the order. So the net value due to the electric force plus the gravitational force is equal to 0. And here, the attraction between two hydrogen atoms we have to take into consideration. So one hydrogen atom with one proton and one electron. So with the charges of E plus delta E plus one electric charge, electron charge. So the net charge become delta E. So that is a speciality for the each one. So we can say the force between these two can be write as a k into delta E square, that division by d square, and we can say, so that is a repulsive force, but they are with, because of the mass, there should be a gravitational force as a g into their mass of attraction, their mass of hydrogen into mass of hydrogen, that division by separation, it should be equal to 0. So we can say as a k into delta E square should equal to G into mh square. D square cancel. Our aim is to find what is delta E. So delta E square equal to G mh square, that division by K equal to as 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 into the mass of hydrogen as 1.67 into 10 raised to minus 27 square by the value of K, it is nothing but equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9. But we need to find what is delta E. So take the root of that value and you get the value as roughly as a 10 raised to minus 37. So you get the answer as 3. So keep in mind here, we want to find the net force between electrical and gravitation of two hydrogen atoms. So the net charge of the hydrogen becomes delta E, and hence their repulsive concept under consideration. So that is a very important concept. You get the answer as a 3. Number 11. Two rods A and B of different materials are welded together as shown in figure. Their thermal conductivities are K1 and K2. The thermal conductivity of the composite rod will be, the heat flow, that should happen from the bigger one to the lower temperature. So we can say the heat flow is in this way. So this is a K1 and this is K2. So the width is given as D. The better aspect is you have to consider here the two conductors that are connected in parallel. So that is a very important concept. So for that, if they are connected in parallel, see the heat flow like this one. For the two material, we can consider as parallel. Then we have to take the thermal resistance. That is equal to L by Ka. So the thermal resistance in parallel network, for the effective one, we can say that as R, that should be equal to for the 1 plus 1 by R2. So it is the very important concept. So the very important one. Then see 1 by what is R for, if we can convert it into a single one, and its length is what? D by its thermal conductivity can be written as K into its area. Suppose you take this one as A, this one got A area, we can say as 2A, it should equal to 1 by, what is the case for the single one? That is again with the thickness of D, the division by its thermal conductivity K1 into area of cross section as A plus 1 by D division by K2 into A. Then it become on the numerator. D cancel. A cancel. So we can write as K by 2K is equal to K1 plus K2. Therefore, K take the value equal to K1 plus K2 by 2. So that is a good aspect. But keep in mind, if the materials are arranged like this one, to the heat flow as a T1 and T2, you have to consider Rs is equal to R1 plus R2. Otherwise, you must listen to the heat flow. Here the heat flow divided, but here the heat flow is a constant. So that is a concept. A good question. So we can say the answer as the first one. We can move to the 12th question. Again, a good question. The diagram shows below the regions of equipotentials for different configurations as a 10, 20, 30, 40, 10, 20, 30, 40, so something like that. So equipotentials, that is a very important speciality. A positive charge is moved from A to B in each diagram. So the maximum work, the minimum work, or the same work, what is the procedure? But we know the concept as the potential difference between the 2 points VB minus VA, take the value equal to the work done between the points division by the charge, and hence the work done depends upon the change in potential. But we know for an equipotential surface, the potential is a constant, and hence the work done become a zero and is a constant for all the three cases. It is a very important concept. So the change in potentials along a an equipotential surface, we can say potential, but between them, then only here the change in potential is a constant. Delta V is a constant, and hence we can say same even between the equipotential surfaces, and hence we can code the answer as a T. So along an equipotential surface, the work done is 0. But between them, there should be a value, but it is a constant for every cases. We can say as a 2 as the answer. As a number 13, a simple but very important type question. The ratio of wavelength of the last line of Balmer series and the last line of Lyman series is. So you must go through the very important theory part for the atomic spectra of hydrogen. So we can say for the last line, we have to sense the last line of Balmer series. That is a very important one. Balmer series. You know the 1 by lambda, take the value equal to R into 1 by n1 square minus n2 square. Then for the Balmer series, we can write as equal to the Rydberg constant into 1 by 2 square minus the last line as 1 by infinity square. So the lambda b, take the value is equal to, yes, that is 4 by r. Then what is the last line of Lyman series? And there we can say as lambda L is equal to R into as 1 by 1 square minus infinity square. So we get the value for lambda L is equal to 1 by R. But our aim is to find what is lambda B by lambda L. So 4 by R by 1 by R. So that is equal to 4 by 1. But our aim is, yes, lambda B by lambda L. That is a 4:1. So you get the answer as a 3. A good knowledge, but it is so simple. Number 14. Young's double slit experiment is first performed in air, then in a medium other than air. It is found that eighth bright fringe in the medium lies where fifth dark fringe lies in air. So we know the location of n the bright fringe as m lambda, n lambda, capital D by small d. So that is a very important concept. See, for that is for the bright fringe. Dark fringe, we can say that 2n minus 1 into lambda capital D by 2d. So it is given that eighth bright fringe in the medium, say a lambda dash, that is the variable one, the wavelength changes. So if it is lambda dash, then we can say nth bright fringe, eighth bright fringe location is equal to that fifth dark fringe location. So eighth bright fringe, we can say that 8 lambda dash capital D by small d equal to fifth dark one. So 10 minus 1, line 9 lambda capital D by 2d. So, and there the common factors can be, so we get the value as lambda dash is equal to 9 by 16 lambda. But we know in another medium, lambda dash is equal to lambda division by mu. So that is equal to lambda by mu. So we can write the equation for mu is equal to 16 by 9. So you get the value as 1.78. So that is a very important concept. So here the location from the center maximum, the eighth bright branch in the medium equal to location of fifth dark branch from the center maximum. So you must know this relation, then you get the concept so easily. So it is a very important one. And keep in mind the very important another concept. The fringe bit in the medium become in air by the refractive index. It is a very, very important concept. The last question for the video, number 15, a good aspect. A particle executes linear simple harmonic motion with an amplitude of 3 centimeter. So it is given as A is equal to 3 centimeter. When the particle is at 2 centimeter from the mean position, say we can say as say x is equal to 2 centimeter, the magnitude of velocity is equal to its acceleration. The magnitude of velocity is equal to its acceleration. The value of v, you know the relation as omega into root of the amplitude square minus x square. Take the value equal to the acceleration in magnitude as omega square into x. There 1 omega cancel. So that is equal to root of the amplitude square as 9 minus x square as 2 square 4 equal to that omega as 2 pi by t into the x as it is given the displacement as 2. So 9 minus 4 as 5. So root 5 is equal to 4 pi by t. Our aim is to find what is the time period. So t is equal to 4 pi by root 5. So simple concept. You get the answer as 3. So we can wait for the next video from 16 to 30 questions. God bless you. Take care.